Hi everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach and welcome to another one of my album reviews. And as of right now, I haven't run across anything else yet. This is going to be my last holiday related album. And holidays, you say, with Typo Negative on an album called October Rust? Man, Typo was screwing with us that year. Okay. I believe I've covered the Bloody Kisses album. You should go watch my review for that one. It gives you an idea of where I stand with Typo Negative. October Rust was the first album for Typo Negative I actually got to purchase 100% brand new on its release date. Anything before that point, I was catching up on. So this would have been, 96? Yeah, 96. Really fun album. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. Depressing as fuck kind of album. They definitely do a lot more depressing later. And I don't listen to it as much as I used to for that reason. But there are definitely some choice tracks and cuts on here that I'm going to get into. First off, you've got Bad Ground to open up the album. This is just wonderful and funny and brilliant. Typo Negative got into this habit where they started doing all these little intros that would screw with people at the beginning. And Bad Ground is just that. You'd hear this horrible bad ground buzz going like it sounds like your speakers just got screwed up. This is back in the day of stereo systems, right? So it really would sound like you possibly got something wrong with your stereo. And it was just hilarious. And I've even put it when I made mixtapes, because I've had friends over the years say, "Oh, can you introduce me to Typo and put stuff?" And I'll do stuff. I'll put Bad Ground on there, or I'll put one of the other ones on there. There's another one they've got that actually that might Bad Ground. Does that have the track skipping on it? I don't remember. Anyways, I like to mess with people with it when I do it, so I'd have fun because there is a definite humor to Typo Negative. After that is track 2, which doesn't have a title on here. It's just them saying, haha, blah, 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 this is the album. And then from there, we cut into Love You to Death. Love You to Death is definitely Peter Steele doing his mourning, his loving, and just wanting that woman to love to death. And it is a great song. It really is. It's a good song. But it's very slow. It's very somber, very dark, very goth. I love this. This was my goth. After that, we go into Be My Druidus. I like Be My Druidus. Be My Druidus is really cool. I actually like Be My Druidus a lot more now than I did back in the day. Back in the day, I preferred the depressing ass side of Typo Negative. Now I enjoy the more lively side of it. And Be My Druidus was definitely more of that lively side, which was really enjoyable. Then we go into Green Man. Green Man is yet another one. It's more lively, more enjoyable. I really do enjoy it. I really get into it, and I enjoy it a lot more now than I did when the album first came out. Then we get into the reason I'm covering this album, the Christmas track, which is Red Water Christmas Morning. Not morning, morning. And it is, typical Typo affair. Everybody's dead. Except for this is set at Christmas. Warm and cheery Christmas music. My favorite type of Christmas music. Then we get into the major single off this album. One of my favorite Typo Negative songs still to this day, My Girlfriend's Girlfriend. In the day and age of polyamory, where it's kind of blown out and open, the song doesn't have the same flavor as it did back in the day. But I mean, it's total Pete Steele boasting about him having a girlfriend and his girlfriend having a girlfriend, and the enjoyment of him and his girlfriend and her girlfriend, my girlfriend's girlfriend. Now, as a guy, obviously, I think it's great and egotistical and whatnot. And yes, obviously, it's Pete doing his thing, being great and egotistical and whatnot. But if you were Pete Steele, you got away with that because Pete Steele was like 6'5", was a rock star, and was excessively endowed. That's actually known fact. He posed in Playgirl magazine, and yeah. Uh, then you get Die With Me. That really slows things down drastically from where we were. And Die With Me, we're back to that more somber, depressing typo again. Burnt Flowers Fallen is actually a very pretty song. I really like Burnt Flowers Fallen, but once again, very kind of depressing. In Praise of Bacchus. It's one of those songs, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but it's one of those songs that, when you're listening to it, you love it. When it's not on and you go to think of it by the title, you're like, what song is that? Good tune, though. After that, we get into a cover of Neil Young's Cinnamon Girl. I love this song. I love this cover. I actually have the single, and I'm going to cover the single after I finish covering this. And I really love Cinnamon Girl. I really love how it sounds on this album. I love the drumming on it. The do do da 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 do do da 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 do do da 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 do do da, and then it just kicks to that straight beat. Ah, awesome opening. Really great song. I love the cover, and it's really funny because my mom grew up with the original one, and then this one's playing. And I had this one playing one day when she came home, and she hears it, and she goes, "Well, that's a little different." That's my mom. Great song, great cover. And after My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, it's my next favorite track on this album. Then we've got The Glorious Liberation of the People's Technocratic Republic of Vinland by the combined forces of the United Territories of Europa. This one's just a giant soundscape. Great soundscape. And I've actually put this soundscape down on mixed tracks for people because it's only like a minute and some odd long. So, just to help fill out a tape the whole way through and not leave much blank space. It was a great one to put in there as a little filler somewhere. That goes into Wolf Moon, including Zootropic Paranoia. I like Wolf Moon. Great song. Really enjoyable track when I'm listening to the album. And once in a while, I'll even find myself singing the chorus on my own. And then there we go into Haunted. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Haunted is not a rememberable song. At least not to me. And I don't think it's a great closer to this album. In the great scheme of Typo Negative, I like this album. I do put this album on from time to time to listen to it. This is actually the second copy of this CD I've owned. The first copy I owned, I destroyed because I used to listen to it all the time. I carried it around with me all the time, everywhere. Really, really great album. But you have to be, I think, in a frame of mind for it. It's not an album I really get into listening so much now. I do enjoy it, throwing on every once in a blue moon, which is why I rebought it. But not what I'm going to come back to. Before I close off here, I do want to cover the Cinnamon Girl single. And the reason I want to cover the Cinnamon Girl single is, one, I like the artwork. It's cool artwork. It's a little risque-ish. But I bought this single purely because I was being a typo purist of sorts. Because all it is 4 different versions of the same song in different mixes. So you get the Cinnamon Girl Depressed Mode mix, the Cinnamon Girl US Radio mix, the Cinnamon Girl Extended Depression mix, and the Cinnamon Girl LP version. Now, the LP version is 4 minutes and 8 seconds. The LP version is also still the best version. The depressed mode and the extended depressed mode, they're okay. I'm not overly thrilled with them one way or the other. And the radio mix is basically got 29 seconds cut out of it. US radio really does kind of suck sometimes when it comes to trying to get music on, which is why they had to cut some time out of it. There really is no need to cut out of there if they didn't want to. If you find this single for like $5 or less, pick it up. You know, if you want to pick it up for that reason, go for it. I personally, I don't remember what I paid for it. I probably paid closer to $10 for it. This is something for your purists, for your diehard fans, for your dumbass fans, stuff like that. It is not something that typo negative fans really need. If you've got the album, you've got the song that you need, and that's that. Anyways, folks, those are my thoughts and my views on Typo Negative's October Rust. Let me know what your thoughts and views are. That's what the comment section is for. Like button, subscribe button, notification button. That helps out both you and me with that back and forth interaction between us. And otherwise, peace, love, take care.